Christakos. He's here, I think, doing his first group interview at Cal. So had a nice scrimmage on Saturday. And so if you guys have questions for Tommy, go ahead and let me know in the chat, and we'll get rolling.
Let's do this.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with Jeff Ferrado from Cal Sports Report.
Tommy, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm okay. So can you just talk about how the scrimmage went on Saturday for you and how spring ball has been?
Sure. Yeah. Scrimmage on Saturday was a blast. It was, I think everyone was really anxious, to get full pads and get hit a little, but spring ball in general has been amazing. Everyone's been super enthusiastic, and the energy's been progressing every day exponentially. And I think that's really important, because if we're enthusiastic and our intensity is there every practice now, then I think that, will translate into the summer and especially into the fall. So it's been really fun.
And you caught a touchdown Saturday. How fun was that?
Yeah, that was the best part. I might have blacked out a little, so I don't really remember quite all of it, but that was fun.
So it was a pretty overwhelming moment if you're blacking out after the touchdown in the scrimmage, huh?
I mean, can't say I've been there before yet, but I'm going to try to make that a normal thing nowadays.
So when you do it against Stanford or USC coming up here, you expect to react a little differently?
Oh yeah, I'll act like I've been there. So
can you talk about what you expect your role to be in the fall, what your aspirations are?
Personally?
Yes.
My goals for the fall. I want to make an impact on the team. I know, I'm only a true freshman, but I got some experience under my belt last season, but I truly think I can make an impact on this team, especially down the red zone. I don't know, I feel like I'm a big guy, bigger stature, and I feel like I play the jump ball extremely well. So hopefully I can get some action, especially in the red zone this season.
Your size makes you a little bit different than most of the Cal receivers. Do you think gives you a niche among the group that gets you on the field?
For sure. Yeah, I definitely use that as an advantage. And, I have a chip on my shoulder, being one of the biggest guys, if not the biggest guy in the room for a receiver. It gives me a better matchup against these smaller DBs. So I like to use my, my physical stature to my advantage.
Great. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, we'll move on to David Bush from Bear Insider.
Hi, Tommy.
Hey.
How is it going against the Cal DBs? Is it a total new experience going against guys that have some tricks and some experience in that?
Yeah, it's definitely a different experience. I guess, it's different from anything I'll compare it to, 7-on-7 in high school, or even just high school. These guys are here for a reason, so they bring it every play, but so do I. And, I like DBs because they can run their mouth, and, that gets fun. That gets fun at times. So, yeah, it's definitely a different intensity.
Was there a little trash talking on Saturday?
Here and there, but who doesn't like a little chirping?
And I'm interested in your kicking. Now, you've done mainly kickoffs here. Would you like to do field goals? Have you done that ever?
Yes, sir. So, I've trained for both my entire life. I guess just because I could. I grew up playing soccer, but what I would like to do at Cal, primarily this spring and this season, I'm going to be focusing on receiver. But I'll still have, to me, kicking's kind of like riding a bike. So I don't think I'll ever be able to, lose. Obviously, I won't be as good, but, I just feel like this season I'm going to work on receiver primarily.
Okay, thanks. Good luck.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Trace Travers from Rivals.
Yeah, good to see you, Tommy.
How's it going?
Good. Let's see. One thing Coach Musgrave said earlier today is that he's mostly been working you at the split end spot. He had you playing a bit of flanker today. Do you have a preference between the two?
To be honest, not necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
No, at this stage, especially because I'm a freshman, I can't really be picky. So whatever gets me on the field. But no, I actually do not have a preference whatsoever.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And how is it? You came in with a group of 5 wideouts, including yourself in the 2020 class. How is it playing alongside those guys, and what have you seen from your teammates there?
It's wonderful. And I think our class, especially our receiver class, is specifically unique because I all feel like we hold individual characteristics that are unique to our own play style. So I'll give an example. For me, I'm a bigger body. I can go up and get the ball in the air, high point. Justin Baker, small, shifty, fast, quick. Got Jeremiah Hunter, great guy, great route runner, great hands. Aiden Lee, amazing route runner, strong, super strong. So I just feel like we all bring something different to the table, which makes us that much better.
I'll leave it at that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to Max Frankie from Bear Insider.
Hey, Tommy, you're part of like a cohort of guys that come from Arizona that are at Cal. There's a bunch of, Arizona recruits that came to Cal. Could you talk about why that is, at least in your opinion, that a lot of Arizona guys come to Berkeley? And even though you guys may have had offers from Arizona and ASU?
Sure. Yeah. Well, individually for me, I wanted a new experience outside of Arizona. At the same time, though, and this is common ground amongst, the recruits from Arizona. I mean, Cal's fairly close. So our parents, it means a lot to me, specifically when my parents come out and watch my games, and it's not that bad of a flight, or they can even drive. So I know that's particularly important. Also, the recruiting. I mean, we all had Coach Regal recruit us, and, he does an amazing job and tells it how it is. You expect, when you show up, what you're going to get. And yeah, I've become super close with everyone from Arizona on the team.
Awesome. And you've caught a lot of balls from Chase Garbers and Zach Johnson. Could you talk about the strengths of those two guys and how it feels like, at least, having to play along their playing style?
Sure. Yeah. Both. I mean, all of our quarterbacks are amazing. I'd take all of them over anyone else in the country. And it's great in practice because I receive balls from not just one individual quarterback, but the entire group. So you can start building a relationship, because it's important for receivers to build a relationship with a quarterback, obviously, so you can get the timing down and whatnot. But I'm really happy with our group of quarterbacks, and I think we got some killer guys in that are going to help us lead us to some big wins this season.
Yeah, but could you maybe talk about Zach Johnson's skill set? What do you think he can really provide for the team?
Sure. I'd say Zach's, personally, I mean, I'm great friends with Zach. I'd say his intellect what's up here. I mean, that he can read a defense. He knows the playbook inside and out, which is really impressive because, I mean, we're all going through the same, learning the playbook as true freshmen and whatnot. And Zach acts like he's been here for years. So, I really think his intelligence on and off the field will help him succeed.
Yeah, and he's good with his feet too, right? That's what I've heard.
He's super quick. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, does anybody else have a question, a final question for Tommy? Okay, I think we got Jeff Ferrato, Cal Sports Report, with another one. Go ahead, Jeff.
So Tommy, did you know Charlie Regal from his time? He was the head coach at Chaparral, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, he was the head coach there, and he won, I think, 2 state championships actually. But I wasn't necessarily planning. Not even planning. I didn't really have a relationship prior with Coach Regal.
How old were you when he was there? Were you a grade school kid still, or?
Yeah, I was pretty young, so I didn't know which. I don't even think I knew what elementary school I was going to.
And I read that you were on the varsity team in high school when you were in the 8th grade. Is that correct? And can you explain what that is?
Yeah, more or less. So basically, one of the position coaches at Chaparral was my 8th grade flag football team coach at our middle school. And, he saw me out there and he saw my capabilities and he's like, yeah, you want to come play some 7-on-7 with us this weekend? I was like, yeah, sure. And I go out there playing against a bunch of high schoolers in 8th grade. And then, so I guess you could coin the term that I was on varsity in 8th grade, but.
So it wasn't like on Friday nights, it was just on the 7-7, 7
Yeah,
and 7.
it was just, yeah, 7-on-7.
Were you particularly big already as an eighth grader?
Oh, I'm 8th grade. Might have been 6 foot, 165 pounds.
That's pretty tall for an eighth grader, right?
Yeah, for an 8th grader, but I mean, I'm going out there against, guys 3-4 years older than me. So
And how did they regard you at that point?
no one took me serious at all. I would walk up to the lineman, they'd laugh and think it was a joke. And I'd be like, okay, well, that's where you messed up.
So you had some moments.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Okay, it looks like Frankie has another question for you.
Sure.
Tommy, could you talk about, Kai Miller and Hunter Barth are another 2 Arizona guys that are coming in. Have you played against them? And what do you think about those 2 guys?
Personally, I never got the chance to compete with either of them in high school, but Hunter's already here. We've built a great relationship. We've been competing on the field, and for me personally, it's cool to compete with kids that you're cool with personally because it just drives me to work that much harder. So Hunter and I have gotten off to a great start, pushing himself, especially on the field. And then Kai, I've thrown with Kai a couple times in Arizona when I go home over break and whatnot. So him and I already kind of have a pre-existing relationship. So I'm excited for when he gets here.
Thanks. And this is the last question. Do you think that Coach Wilcox has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder this year, or at least the coaching staff? Because I think last season didn't go as well as we all wanted. Do you think that the staff has a little bit of a heightened level of pressure on you guys or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it pressure. And not even, this goes for the entire program. We're hungry, Last year was a very weird year with COVID and whatnot. But, and it was all new. So it's hard to adapt and change to, everyone had to do it. But, that's how last season reflected how we adapted. But this season, we're hungry. We got a chip. We know how it's going to go with COVID and everything. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and actually one more, with the absence of Makai Polk, do you think that that opens up another door for you to get more reps this season? And do you see your game improving this year after last year as an athlete and, mentally as well?
For sure, yeah. With Makai gone, I guess, because him and I played the same position. We were both X's. So yeah, it gives me a chance, to jump up the ranks and whatnot, even gives me more motivation to work harder because I'm closer to my goal. And then pertaining mentally, I've matured a lot from last year, I would say, because, I dipped my feet in the water, kicked in some games, even just traveling and whatnot with the playbook. I just feel a lot more comfortable with pretty much everything regarding football at this level.
Yeah, and athletically, do you feel stronger, faster?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think my speed in particular has improved. So, and that's super important to me because that's what I realized I need to work on my game. So,
awesome. Thanks.
yep.
Anybody with a final question for Tommy? All right, Tommy, we hope